My name is Mari, and I am serving in Hungary with the high school ministry, and I spent a year on expedition in the Middle East and North Africa. It was our fourth week in a Middle Eastern country, and we had hundreds of conversations with students by that time in person, and also through Facebook Messenger. We had opportunities to share the gospel and use the Key Volunteer Challenge to see where God was at work. And honestly, it seemed like nothing really was happening. We knew that He's at work, we just didn't really know where. I remember that morning, I was walking on one of the main streets of the city, trying to start conversations with students. But honestly, I couldn't really do it because the same questions were echoing in my mind again and again. Like, why would these people trust me? Why would they share with me if they follow Jesus? I was just a stranger to them, and they would risk so much if they share that they love Jesus and they believe in Him. And as I was thinking about these questions, I started to form them into prayers. And I started to ask, like, God, You are the one who can make them open up and make them trust me. And at the end, You are the one who can change their hearts to trust You. So I continued to initiate, and at the end of the day, I was on my way home and I saw two girls walking on the streets. I remember thinking, okay, they are going to be the last ones I will talk to today. So I initiated the same way I did a lot of time before. I told them that I'm looking for people who believes in the Bible and what the Bible teaches about Jesus, and have a desire to share it with others. So the girls were smiling as they answered with confidence that we are like that. So we sat down for a coffee, and I asked them to share their stories. Rosalie started to share her story, and her first sentence was about how much she had hated Christians. She also shared that she became a believer through reading about Christianity on the internet and watching debates on YouTube between Muslims and Christians. At that time we met, she had been a believer for 7 months. It was amazing to see how God worked in her and what He did in such a short period of time in her. And He also used her to influence her friend. The other girl's name was Aisha, and she heard the gospel through her. And they are classmates, so they both are in university, and now they are working together and thinking together about how to share their faith in their universities and among their friends. We met several times before my team left the country to look at God's Word and see what His plans are for the nations. And also we casted vision based on 2 Timothy 2:2. I still keep in touch with them, and it is so humbling to see what God is doing in and through them in that country. This story is a great reminder for me that God is at work, and He does things in His ways and in His timing. And often He starts doing things when we get to the end of ourselves. And this is something that I really needed to experience. Even though I'm back to my home country, I would like to remember that He's at work, and I know that He's the one that He can do the impossible, as I experienced. He wants me to get to the end of myself and watch what He does, because only He's the one who can do the impossible. This motivates me to keep trusting in Him.